All right, so we're back outside.
Yes.
It's a nice, hot, sunny day today, Diane.
It is. My hands are sweating, but I am ready to dye. I am so
We're ready.
excited.
We got our gloves. All right. We are going to be in great hands here with the yarn dyeing machine.
Yes.
And Laura, too.
Going to dye with us, thankfully. Show us how it's done.
Yes. So what are we doing?
All right, so we've first thing you do is you pick out your colors, which you did. We had purples, we have pinks.
Yeah,
I did something more towards the Toledo base with some yellow, blue, and red to kind of play off the mud hens.
Yes.
Put everything in the squirt bottles. I mixed everything at home because you need to wear like a face covering with the dyes because they're professional dyes.
Okay.
So I mixed everything, brought everything with us, and then all there is to it is just picking up your squirt bottle.
Okay.
And
put it wherever you want.
Yeah, wherever you want on your yarn, however you want it. These are going to be one-of-a-kind pieces that I will never be able to duplicate. So.
You'll never be able to sell either.
No, you never.
Okay, so this is pink flamingo. I like this. Okay.
Now this yarn is also
this is a lighter.
wet. Is it just water?
Yeah. What do you have on the? Did you soak the yarn in something?
Yes. So the yarn has been soaked in citric acid, which is what is a mordant. So that makes the dye adhere to the yarn. We choose to use citric acid. You can also use white vinegar, but white vinegar smells, so we stick with the citric acid.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so the yarn has been soaked in citric acid.
Now, do certain types of yarn dye easier? Maybe cotton?
Yep, citric acid is used for animal-based yarns. If we were to do a plant-based yarn like a linen or a cotton, we would have to use soda ash. To get the dye to stick to it. And then after you guys have dyed your masterpieces, we would be taking them and steaming them, and the heat will actually set the dye.
Okay.
So good thing it's hot outside.
Right, we're getting started on that.
Yes.
And the heat will set the dye. We use acid dyes, and they're usually, they don't fade or anything. We recommend washing in cold water and maybe using a wool wash like Eculin to dye, as a detergent. But if you make something, I think you should hand wash anything you make anyway.
Yeah, just be careful with that.
Right, because you spent all that time and energy. These are looking great.
Now, what if I wanted to use one whole color? If I just wanted to make
a plain Jane?
Well, we would then, instead of hand painting them, we would put them in a pot.
Okay.
We would put them in a pot of the dye bath of that one color. We would let it sit until the water exhausted, which means the water would come out clear.
Oh.
At that point, we know all the dye has absorbed into the skein of yarn. And then it's heated up to about 180 degrees. And then at that point, we would rinse it and make sure it runs clear. No dye is coming out of the rinse. And we put it in a bucket of water with some Dawn detergent for a little wash. We spin it in a spinner to get all the water out, and we hang it to dry.
Look at this mud hens over here.
That looks great.
Yes, and they're home this week again, as I mentioned. So this is perfect timing. I feel like I'm not totally getting this covered.
No,
but
you're doing good.
I'm working on it.
You're doing
I feel
good.
like it's a camp project or something.
It's not a camp project.
Nope. This is you run your business out of your home, right?
Yes, we do.
And you spend part of the time here in our area, and then you enjoy a little bit of sunshine down
in Florida,
south,
right? We take our dye studio down to Florida in the wintertime, so we see sunshine all year long. And we are in a couple of stores up here, though. You'll see our yarns in Nitpicky and Hooked. I think she was on earlier.
Yes, I visited that store in Monroe.
Yep, in Monroe. And then we're in Knotted Fun in Perry and Cast On Yarn Studio in Vermilion.
Very good.
So any of those stores you can see us, or any of the festivals. And we are online.
You're online as well.
Yes.
I saw your website, so you can go check them out there. I love pink. These are great colors.
Do you want a little bit of black? I'm adding some stripes. I think, purple zebra. I think is kind of
that looks
my
good.
theme here.
I'm bright and cheery over here.
Yeah.
And I know Diane is a purple gal, though.
I am.
She's a purple gal.
Purple is my color.
Do you have a favorite? Do you guys have a favorite that you like to work with?
I like the jewel tones, like the turquoises and
pretty.
But we try to dye everything because not everybody likes. My struggle is brown. I'm not a brown person, but I like, we need to have browns because it mixes
other people
well
like
with
brown
others.
too, right?
But when I view it, I just don't like it. So I have a girlfriend that comes over and I'm like, is this a good brown? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool.
So I'm almost done with my color, but what do I do when I'm completely done? Where do I go?
So when you're completely done, nope, you're good.
Okay.
We'll do that. We will wrap these in saran wrap.
Okay.
And then we put them in the steamer, which we'll do at home for about an hour.
Hour and a half.
Okay.
Depending on how many skeins we have in there. So probably an hour. Let them sit for a couple hours, unwrap
cool
them,
off.
then rinse them until they run clear, and then put them into the soap bath, rinse bath. Let them sit there for about 2 hours. Pull them out, spin them dry, and hang them up. And they probably take
about a day to dry.
Yeah, 2 days, depending on the humidity. So,
so we're still about 2 days out before we get to that final project that you have all the way at the end of the table there.
Yes.
So it's a process, you know,
It is.
but it comes out beautifully, as we could see here. This yarn is just beautiful, and you can make some wonderful creations with them as well.
And using nice yarn, nice wools, it just feels wonderful in your hands when you're working with it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming to visit us here. This has been so much fun.
Yes, I still have to finish up because yours looks way better.
Get on it, girl. Get on it.
I was too creative this morning.
Very good, folks. Thank you for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
I appreciate it. We're back with more Your Day right after this. Get going.
Oh, yeah, sorry.